ethnic bioweapon, biogenetic weapon, is a type of theoretical bioweapon that aims to harm only or primarily people of specific ethnicities or genotypes. In November 1998, the Sunday Times reported that Israel was attempting to build an ethno-bomb containing a biological agent that could specifically target genetic traits present amongst Arab populations. 9. Wired News also reported the story. 10/11, as did Foreign Report. 12 microbiologists and geneticists were skeptical towards the scientific plausibility of such a biological agent. 13. The New York Post, describing the claims as blood libel, reported that the likely source for the story was a work of science fiction by Israeli academic Doron Stanitsky. Stanitsky had sent his completely fictional work about such a weapon to Israeli newspapers 2 years before. The article also noted the views of genetic researchers who claimed the idea as wholly fantastical, with others claiming that the weapon was theoretically possible. 1415. In May 2007, a Russian newspaper Kommersant reported that the Russian government banned all exports of human biosamples. 16. The report claims that the reason for the ban was a secret FSB report about ongoing development of genetic bioweapons targeting Russian population by Western institutions. The report mentions the Harvard School of Public Health, American International Health Alliance, Department of Medical Biotechnology of Jagiellonian University, United States Department of Justice Environment and Natural Resources Division, Institute of Genetics and Biotechnology, Warsaw University, and United States Agency for International Development.
And there's what got me, all right? So they're trying to say, oh, when it comes to Israel, this stuff is fiction. But this was enough for the Russian news to report that they were stopping the exportation of their genetics, right? Where was that? Human biosamples? What is that? Your DNA? So is it so far-fetched that you could really, that they have already produced and created a weapon, that they've released it, right, that can wipe out populations of so-called African Americans, so-called Mexican Americans, and Native Americans? So when you would give a speech that you're going to make America great again, knowing that under your occupation, America's never been great, except for when you believe there was small pockets of so-called African Americans and Mexican Americans. I mean, what did that woman say from over there? What was it called there? That one place in Pennsylvania, Ulysses, Pennsylvania. What did she say? Oh, I believe there needs to be another genocide so their children have a future. Because it was the dream of that one Jewish dude that spoke about how they wanted to mix the populations to dilute the white population so they could have a class of Asiatic blacks, or mulattoes they called it, living throughout the world, and that the Jews could rule over them because they'll be easier to rule. I'm just saying, I'm listening to these old recordings by people that have worked in different fields. One was a guy that worked detecting bugs and doing apartment sweeps and all kinds of stuff for celebrities to make sure their apartments weren't bugged and courtrooms weren't bugged and things like that. And I'm listening to another woman that worked building computer grids, and just, listening to these different people, and they keep mentioning the same thing over and over: the military, the army, whatever. And this was brought up in two of the videos I listened to, how they had, the video was in 1998, that they had claimed the army had already produced weapons that could attack specific people groups. And then it dawned on me, all these genetic companies that want your DNA, right? 23andMe, Ancestry, and all that stuff. We know Ancestry got caught selling the DNA to law enforcement, right? But where's all that going? 23andMe is connected to what? The Mormon Church, right? The Mormon Church is based out of China. Could they have possibly had something to do with a so-called disease that is supposed to be attacking mostly African Americans, Native Americans, and Mexican Americans? While at the same time you have a president that says, hey, I want America to be great again. Which great, like I said at the beginning, wasn't great for so-called African Americans or Mexican Americans. It's just seriously something to stop and think about. I want to show you something else I found. United States Code 50. There you have it. I want to get down here to the part where it talks about that they're allowed to test on any subjects.
Not later than 30 days after the date of final approval within the Department of Defense of plans for any experiment or study to be conducted by the Department of Defense, whether directly or under contract, involving the use of human subjects for the testing of a chemical agent or a biological agent. The Secretary of Defense shall submit to the Committee on Armed Services of the Senate and the Committee on Armed Services of the House of Representatives a report setting forth a full accounting of those plans. And the experiment or study may then be conducted only after the end of the 30-day period beginning on the date such report is received by those committees. W. School search Cornell toggle navigation 50.
That's not what why did it do that?
Biological agent defined in this section. The term biological agent means any microorganism, including bacteria, viruses, fungi, rickettsia, or protozoa, pathogen, or infectious substance. And any naturally occurring, bioengineered, or synthesized component of any such microorganism, pathogen, or infectious substance, whatever its origin or method of production. that is capable of causing 1. Death, disease, or other biological malfunction in a human, an animal, a plant, or another living organism. 2. Deterioration of food, water, equipment, supplies, or materials of any kind, or 3. Deleterious alteration of the environment. The Secretary of Defense may not conduct directly or by contract 1. Any test or experiment involving the use of a chemical agent or biological agent on a civilian population. Or 2. Any other testing of a chemical agent or biological agent on human subjects. B. Exceptions subject to subsections C, D, and E. The prohibition in subsection does not apply to a test or experiment carried out for any of the following purposes. That is related to a medical, therapeutic, pharmaceutical, agricultural, industrial, or research activity. 2. Any purpose that is directly related to protection against toxic chemicals or biological weapons and agents. 3. Any law enforcement purpose, including any purpose related to riot control.
So there you have it. It's just something to read over and to know that it's there, that it was written for some reason, that, there is a process in place that they have to go through if they want to conduct chemical testing on the population.